Hello and welcome back to the Impression Wiz channel. I'm your host, the Impression Wiz, and welcome back to PesterQuest, and welcome back to the Jane Crocker route, the first of the Alpha Kids, which of there's only 4. So let's get back to it. And where we last left off, we were making the choice between practice some self-care or solve a mystery. And I was going to go with practice some self-care because I don't think that would have been the right answer. Mystery would probably be the right answer. But I also could be wrong. That is something this game tends to be about. You know what? All this heavy stuff has really been getting into you recently. Christ, you left Alternia to get away from the hell-murdery nonsense, but if anything, it feels just as stressful back here on Earth with Jane. The adrenaline rushing from the impromptu rescue is beginning to wear off, and your legs start to go all wobbly. You slump down against the wall, exhausted. Man, this really took a lot out of you. Oh, gracious! Are you alright? Yeah, you just need a minute. God, this is so weird and embarrassing. How come it's only once you were out of the bad situation that you stopped being able to cope with it? You try to pull yourself together, but then your stomach growls like an aggressive, hungry cat. Come to think of it, you haven't eaten anything in... you don't even know how long. Jane gives you a sympathetic, almost grandmotherly look. It sounds like someone's hungry. You know, I was planning on baking something after taking care of the mail, although I guess that it took care of itself in the end. So, since a plan A seems to have gone up in a pillar of smoke, let's move swiftly on to plan B. Fancy helping me whip a cake into submission? We can call it a thank you for saving my bacon back there. Kind of odd wording, but yeah. Gosh, that sounds like a wonderful idea. You feel like you could eat a horse, or even better, a horse made out of cake. You can't remember the last time you had a cake, in fact. Oh? Now, if that isn't just about the saddest thing I've ever heard. Oh my. So is that the picture of Grandma Betty back there? I doubt it. Jane gets you up with an apron, or sets you up with an apron, and starts pushing ingredients and utensils out of various cupboards and drawers. Seeing the various colorful bags and boxes all lined up on the kitchen counter fills you with excitement. The idea of collaborating with Jane to make something delicious gets your heart racing. Surely there could be no better path to friendship than this. Once she seems sure that she's got everything you need, Jane fiddles with the oven for a few seconds. Just need to set the oven to preheat. Okay, there we go. Now, let's get cracking, shall we? You look around expectantly, hoping to see a recipe book or similar amid a collection of baking implements. Oh no, we don't need one. My Junior Batter Master Bowl Buster Stirring Solution 5000 will do the trick just fine. I think I'm starting to sound like almost Gideon from Gravity Falls, but you know what? It works. A passionate, burning fire seems to ignite in Jane's eyes as she brandishes her trusty red spoon. With a well-practiced motion, she adjusts a series of buttons and dials on the side, and a vaguely feminine robot voice begins to speak out of it. Triple chocolate layer cake, medium rare. Begin regimen. Jane nods to herself and presses another button. The voice begins listing off a series of ingredients and measurements. You guess this spoon must have a lot more tricks up its sleeve than you originally gave it credit for. Technology really is amazing. You begin to reach for the bag of flour, but with lightning speed, Jane leans over and grabs it herself. She doesn't even seem to notice that she had a to bat your hand out of the way. Oh well, that's alright. Jane seems to know what she's doing, and you hate to spoil her fun. In the blink of an eye, she has the flour measured out and reaches for the butter. A praise-solidified bovine extract. You will comply. Jane continues her work in a thorough and efficient manner, and the spoon continues reading out instructions in a calm, steady voice. It's somewhat soothing, even if the choice of vocabulary is a bit strange. It certainly seems to be relaxing Jane, awfully familiar to someplace. Her face has a picture of an intense concentration, but now her eyes appear dim and distant. She could almost be asleep. You're just coming to terms with the idea that baking with Jane is a spectacular sport rather than a team game. Or a spectator sport, blah, 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 when a sudden noise snaps her out of her trance. Oh! Her hands go to her apron pocket, and she fishes out her phone. Something on the screen makes her face light up with a gentle excitement. You think you catch the sight of something green, but she doesn't give you a good look at it. I have to, take care of this? Ooh. Sorry, that was my phone. I was just checking it and I forgot I had something. Whatever it is, it seems to have got Jane into a bit of a tizzy all of a sudden. She thrusts the spoon into your direction. Here. Just follow the instructions. You can't go wrong. This is all happening so fast. Being entrusted with Jane's precious spoon? And so early in your friendship? This must be a great honor. She obviously believes in you a great deal. You try to assure Jane that you won't let her down, but she's already too engrossed in her phone to acknowledge it. You sigh to yourself knowingly. For all her acquainted phraseology and old-timey aesthetic, Jane is still a teen at heart. Add ingredients to vessel. Commence liquidation. Obey. Oh shit, you were caught up being judgmental of a young person that you completely lost track of what you were doing, which was, dissolve dissociated cocoa in boiling water. Submit to your labor. Hey, hang on just a moment. You just barely managed to remember what the previous instruction was before the spoon moved on to the next step already. Oh god, what are the other ingredients you need to add? You try to guess, but there are too many things on the counter and you don't know what half of them even are. You spare a glance at Jane, hoping against hope that she notices your plight. But she's far too distracted to help you right now. You just have to work it out yourself. She's counting on you. Think, damn it, think! Fold cocoa paste into mixture. Make haste. The end is nigh. Eggs! You don't remember doing anything with eggs, but the spoon definitely called for something a while ago. In a blind panic, you grab one and toss it into the bowl. Only after you've stirred it into the mixture do you remember that it's generally best to remove the shell first. I'm glad that's how that happened. Pour cream into small saucepan and heat over a low flame for a few minutes, ensuring that it does not boil or simmer. Once the cream is hot, remove the saucepan from the heat. Cease reproduction. The calm robot voice isn't soothing to you. Not anymore. It's, its tones have become your tormentor. It wouldn't be so bad if it would slow down for a moment. Is there a speed setting on this spoon? If you had just more time to think. Are you sure you would like to start over? Wrong button! You can't go back! Not now! You cancel the prompt and grit your teeth in grim determination. You can fix this. Or you can fix this. You have to fix this. It's like Jane said all those minutes ago when she set you on this quest. You can't go wrong. It's at this moment that your eyes land on a bag of sugar, a noticeably unopened bag of sugar. It's just sitting there, smirking at you with a look of unbearable smugness to the colorful lettering on its face. Who, me? What could you possibly need in a cake for? You tear the bag open and dump the entire contents into the mixing bowl with an ice-cold fury. Then you toss its gutted, lifeless husk into the garbage where it belongs. Revenge has never been sweeter. Oh Lordy, sorry to leave you in the lurch for so long. I had to deal with a friend in his daily moment of personal crisis. Although that's not really saying much, quite frankly. Most of his life seems to be one long personal crisis. And I suppose I'm hardly in any position to complain. I do so like his company at the end of the day. So anyway, the cake! How have you been managing? You don't look up at Jane when she comes back over to you a few minutes later, seeming oblivious to the devastation you've wrought on this poor kitchen. You stare down into the thick, lumpy batter sitting in the bowl in front of you, and in that slodgy, curdly mess you cannot help but see yourself a complete and utter failure. Is everything all right? You want to tell her to explain that no, Jane, everything is not all right. It's all gone to shit. But you can't look anywhere except down. You can feel the bottom falling out of this friendship opportunity like that of a poorly supported Victorian sponge. Once Jane gets a good look at this batter, it's game over. You just know it. As she peeks over your shoulder at your handiwork, you brace yourself for the dreadful moment you've felt so many times before across countless alternate selves and timelines. You watch for the telltale signs of a person deciding that whether pathetic or somehow yet specified creature you are, they don't want you in their life. But strangely enough, the moment never comes. Instead, Jane puts a hand lightly on your shoulder and gives you a gentle smile full of teeth. There. No need to pull a face like that. So, yes, this ended up being a little bit of a misadventure, but it's not the end of the world. But Jane was counting on you and you let her down. You had something that needed to be fixed and you couldn't manage it. As on so many other occasions during your journey, you only made things worse. You try to convince Jane of your guilt in this manner, but she simply shakes her head. Oh, pshaw. You did nothing of the sort. You tried to make the best out of a bad and confusing ordeal, and nobody can blame you for that. Even if your best is admittedly a little suboptimal. But sometimes, when things go wrong, it's not a simple case of being able to fix it by soldiering on blindly in the face of adversity. Sometimes the only way to set things right is to cut your losses and start over from the beginning. And that's not really the same as giving up. You try with all your might to swallow this good advice Jane is serving you, but the look on your face must not be all that convincing. Jane sighs. Look, I'm sorry for abandoning you in an unfamiliar situation. It wasn't very reasonable or leaderly, and it's certainly not becoming of a future president, corporate or otherwise. You suppose that's true. You guess you can accept that this mess was a group effort. Even in failure, it's important to acknowledge the power of teamwork. All the same, you hand Jane's rosy red spoon back to her. You are not worthy of its solemn mantle. Besides, some of the stuff that the robot voice said was beginning to seriously freak you out. Honestly, it meant a lot to me that you were willing to indulge my little hobby for a while. It may be the career path that I have been following my entire life, but you'd be surprised how little I get to talk about it with anyone I'm close to. Anyway, wasn't the whole point that we were getting you something to eat? As thanks for saving my life? Oh yeah, you guess you did do that. Good job, you. Your chest puffs up instinctively, a little with pride, but the motion causes your still empty stomach to make its presence felt again, with a loud gurgle. Speaking of which, we still need to take care of that. Letting a friend go hungry is completely unacceptable. So, how does giving it another try sound? Here's an idea. If you pick the recipe, I'll take care of the rest. I promise that I won't get distracted this time, alright? Yeah, that sounds nice, especially the part where Jane called you a friend. That was the nicest part of all. Cutting your losses. Da-da-da! And he's just splattered with cake makings. Oh... I thought we were done. No. We were done. No. We were done. That was an ending. Here, you can look up the recipe using this. I'd lend you my phone to you, but, well, you know how it is with privacy. Jane hands you what appears to be some sort of computerized tiara, stylishly cast in Crocker red plastic. You guess you just put it on? That's not too complicated. You've seen more peculiar user interfaces in your various travels across time and space. That's for sure. The device fits snug on top of your head, despite your apparent lack of ears. You feel the unreal Eris thought wave tiara top begin to mesh physically with your own brain as you're mentally hooked up to the limitless potential of the internet. Oh my gosh, look at the cat videos. Every facet of human knowledge is at your cognitive fingertips. Your mind is awash with 100,000 pictures of cats in silly poses. Wow. Jane is ready to and waiting for your instructions. All you have to do is reach out. So you do. You begin to comb the web for something tasty, and you will surrender yourself, and you will cease reproduction, and you will comply, and you will comply, and you will comply. Wait, what?
Obey.
All at once, something hits the inside of your skull and begins to ricochet around your synapses and neurons, seeming to fill every corner and crevice of your brain with a deafening wave of silent noise. A single instruction uttered with incalculable force. Impossible to ignore.
Obey.
Your mind... Okay, I need to take my headphones off because that static's starting to bug my ears. I'm sure that's the idea. And I apologize for that. Your mind, so susceptible to outside influence, is no match for it. You feel a million sharp pains as a million neural paths are rearranged to form sharp angles and ordered lines and circuits. And in a blinding flash of light, her design overwhelms every part of me and consumes every atom of me, and then retransmits and amplifies the whole in concert with her will. And I cannot know any different because this is all that I am, and it is so much more than I was. And I see her worthless protege's face twist into a look of horror at the sight of my transformation. But I do not spare her a second glance as I look skyward. I am free of such concerns now. And in the eye of the mind that now belongs to her, I see a place I need to go, and I reach out with the power I stole and step forward into it. And in her throne room, I kneel beneath her smile as she set a course for everywhere. There are problems in the universe that require our attention. And I, her new weapon, smile too. We're going to fix everything.
She claims that every morning she...
Shush. I don't know if that counts as a success or a failure now. And I'm a little shocked, and I might just have to go the other path just to see what happens. But that's it for this episode. I guess we have some more Jane stuff to do next week. Or next time I upload a video of this. I'm not sure when that'll be. But, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please put a like on the video. And if you want to see more of my content, first off, subscribe so you don't miss anything I upload, and ring the notification bell so you really don't miss anything I upload. And as always, I'll see you next time. Obey. And have a good day.